Hey guys, Skittlerampage here. Welcome back to a new video. I do hope you're enjoying your day today. So, trending Funko Pop news is back, and we're going over 7 Funko Pops going up in value. Now guys, before we jump into all of our selections, we do have our question of the day, which is, do you have a Funko Pop in your collection or character that's kind of like a coward in their specific series? And I'm gonna go with Usopp here. And I know, Usopp has had his moments, but above all else, he's still a coward. Alright guys, so jumping into it, starting off with Pop Games, we actually have an Overwatch pick, and that is Kiriko here. So Kiriko's last updated price on Pop Price Guide was $16. It didn't even have a chart for it, though you can see some recent sales have ranged pretty low back in August. We had $13 to $15, but then we also had some pretty high ones around $45 and $53. And then a majority of the current listings that I could find on eBay range from $45 to $50 plus. And while doing a little research, I realized we actually only have one Kiriko Pop. I thought maybe we had like a skin variation or something, but we only have one version of Kiriko, surprisingly enough, so that's most likely why it's jumping up in value, as well as they made a lot of changes to Overwatch recently. A lot of people really like these changes, a lot of people don't like the changes. I myself haven't played the game in months. I just kind of stopped playing, was no longer interested. I jumped on Rivals for a few months, and then that's also just like, I'm not really interested in Rivals anymore. A lot of it is just because the games are just super toxic, especially with teammates and all that, so it's just not fun to play anymore. So I'd rather just not get mad at the games anymore. But not to say that the games can't be fun, it's just there's so much toxicity in them, it's just really not worth it. Plus, it's probably high time that I get to the 100 other games that I have in my PlayStation library, mostly for the free ones I get every month that I've just never tried out. Anyways though, that aside, let me know if you own this Kiriko Funko Pop. Next up guys, we have Pop Animation. We have a couple anime choices. So first up, Demon Slayer. So, Shinobu has been the talk of the town lately. This is the shared version of the 2024 SDCC exclusive. You can see current estimated value, $29 on Pop Price Guide, though recent sales have been higher than that. About double, roughly, ranging from the $40 range to $50 range in sales, and then current listings are relatively around that too. You can still find a couple around the $30 to $40 range too, so if you really hunt, you may be able to find a little bit of a lower price, but this one's definitely going up. And the official SDCC counterpart, there's not a ton of listings out there, but it's definitely jumped past the $100 price tag it currently has on Pop Price Guide, so both of them are going up. But basically why Shinobu is going up is the recent Infinity Castle movie. If you've seen the movie, you know. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I suggest you do before you get spoiled. Overall though, Shinobu going up in value is no real surprise, though I do feel that eventually it will start to level out again. So if you're looking for maybe that con sticker, or you see the price at a little bit higher than you want to pay right now, it's definitely worth waiting. Eventually she will go back down a little bit. Now speaking of Demon Slayer Pops, we also have Obanai, Funko Shop exclusive here. So estimated value $110, but it's definitely higher than that. And recent sales have been around $110 to $125, and then current listings are ranging from $125 up to $150, some even higher than that. Now Obanai, same situation as Shinobu. While he didn't actually do a ton in this specific movie, his time to shine is coming in the next movie, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't read the manga, but I think it's the next movie is when he's really gonna shine among some other characters, so I think people are just buying the pop now because also, Demon Slayer is just super popular because of Infinity Castle right now, but a lot of manga readers or anybody who was spoiled by accident knows what's going to happen with this character and many other characters. And this is also on top of Obanai only having one variation of a pop. He doesn't have any other pops, so this is the only one, and he hasn't had a restock in a very long time, so there's limited stock out there to begin with. In my opinion, I think Obanai is a really good grab right now, though I do feel he is going to level out and maybe go down a little bit after the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie hype is done with for a while. But as we get into that next movie, he's going to spike up again, and after the movie, he's going to spike up even more. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations where it's kind of hard to gauge what's the perfect time to buy this one because it's already so expensive, but there's always a strong chance that Funko will make another Obanai Pop. Whether it's from Hashira Training Arc, or, you know, if they get the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie license and maybe they make him from that, or, you know, from a previous season or something, you know. They definitely have some opportunities still, and I think given the demand of the character right now, they will definitely jump on it. And of course, I will keep an eye on any leaks or rumors that come out about a brand new Obanai Pop, because I know a lot of people don't want to pay over $100 for this character. But yeah, guys, that's everything for Obanai, but I'm curious, how high do you think Obanai's price might get? All right, guys, so our last last anime pick today is Beru from Solo Leveling here. So estimated value around $31. You can see recent sales do range from that $30 to $45 range, and current listings are pretty close to that too. So this one I wanted to include, even though it's relatively still low in value. I just thought it was pretty interesting because first, Entertainment Earth sold out relatively quick. People jumped on this because it was a big character, and the pop actually came out relatively around the same time as this character was introduced into the anime itself, which was perfect timing. So it sold out on Entertainment Earth, even though it wasn't the strongest mold, and then eventually when it dropped on Funko, sold out there. Also sold out at Funko Europe. So it's just sold out everywhere right now, and there's a lot of hype around Solo Leveling in general. So it makes sense that it would definitely at least double in value due to the demand and, current stock situation. I do think there's a strong chance they will restock this one in the future, so I don't see it holding the $40, $50 range roughly that it is right now forever, especially since Funko will most likely do another variation of this very popular character, maybe in future Solo Leveling waves. Or again, we could also see a restock of this one. So make sure to keep an eye out on those things, but at the same time, again, it's ranging from at the low end around $30, high end $50. I would say you can still find a couple around $30 to $35, which isn't a bad buy in my opinion at that price. Now next guys, we have a couple pop music choices. So first up, we have a Hamilton 3-pack of Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy there. So estimated value on Pop Price Guide, $120. Recent sale, or one of the last sales that I've noticed on eBay, there's not a ton of these out there, at $130. And then current listings on eBay range from $350 to $355. I will say, I think this is the most rare Hamilton Funko Pop out there, as it's just incredibly hard to find and there's very limited listings, if maybe 10 out there total between most marketplaces. So this one's an extremely hard one to find. So it's kind of hard to dictate exactly what the true going rate for this one is, because like I said, it sold for $130. I think it was estimated value is around $120. And then of course, the very few listings out there are around $350 and up. And if you don't know this, pretty much a majority of the Hamilton Funko Pop set has actually jumped up in value. What's pretty funny about them is that they actually ended up in clearance bins at some places, especially certain characters. And then here we are with a lot of the pops being $40 to $50 pops now. And then you have this really rare 3-pack that's going for hundreds of dollars. Now, outside of scarcity for the Hamilton set, given they're just harder to find, Hamilton's also in theaters right now. So it's only boosting the popularity of merchandise. Next up guys, another pop music choice is Ozzy Osbourne. This is one that I noticed have a huge spike in the last 1 to 2 months. Estimated value around $65. You can see sales around $60 to $75. And then current listings range from $75 to $100. So obviously, as you know, Ozzy Osbourne did actually pass away. So that kind of led to a lot of merchandise jumping up, and Funko Pops were included in that. Now the pretty good thing about Ozzy though is that he has a ton of Funko Pop variations. So while this one did jump up a lot, there's a couple other variations out there. They also just dropped a new pop album recently. So if you wanted to have him in your collection, you do have options, and it's not like there's just one pop out there where people are trying to sell for thousands of dollars or whatever just because he passed away. Alrighty guys, so our final pick today is Michael Jackson, the 1984 Grammys Funko Shop exclusive. This is also Diamond Collection. You can see where it did actually have a big jump, and it was actually at this range a while back and then kind of leveled out around $20, and then now is around the $40, $45 range, where you can see that reflecting in sales as low as $30 up to $55, and then current listings, same range. So I don't know if there's an exact reason as to why this one jumped up, other than maybe the pop is just scarce. I didn't notice a ton of listings on eBay specifically, so I'm assuming it is just scarcity. Well guys, that does wrap up our trending Funko Pop news for today. Make sure to let me know in the comments below if you guys do own any of the pops we talked about today. I don't actually own anything today. I don't own Shinobu, I don't own Obanai. They're just not my favorite Hashira, so I didn't really need them in the collection, and I actually am not collecting Solo Leveling, so I don't have Beru. So yeah, I don't actually own any of these pops today in my collection, but let me know if you do. That all aside though, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. I do want to end off the video by saying a big shout out to all the awesome Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And finally, make sure to follow me on all my social medias at Skittlerampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page, so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.